Could be a lot of reasons. I would say the number one reason for that, and the two biggest reasons for that would be, number one would be the condition. If your truck doesn't meet UTA trade terms, it's got a check engine light, it's got active fault codes, it's got some body damage, tires and brakes need to be replaced. Right now in this market, there's an oversupply. There's more trucks out there than there are people that want to buy them. So if your truck is not in very good shape and it isn't spec'd out right, you're going to have trouble selling that truck. There's just too many other trucks out there at that same price point that are in really good shape that are going to sell before your truck. So the condition of the truck, especially in a market like this, when COVID hit and it was really, really, really hard to find trucks, it wasn't that important. But right now, if you've got a 2016 Cascadia with 600,000 miles on the truck and it's not in very good condition, you're going up against 4,000 or 5,000 other trucks that are just like that are for sale in our country, and that are, an awful lot of those trucks are going to be in really good condition. So the condition would be the number one. And the second reason is typically the way that the truck is spec'd out. The way that you spec a truck can have an absolutely huge impact on the resale value. And all we need to do is look at the international engine. Anybody that's in this industry understands that if you had a Max Force engine or the international N13 engine, that same truck with a different engine, and it might sell for $40,000, $50,000 more, just because of the engine in the truck. The specs on a truck can have a huge impact on the kind of money you'll get when you resell the truck and how long it'll take you to sell the truck. Try selling a group of 10 day cabs with Max Forces in them. You may be waiting 2-3 years before you get those trucks retailed and sold. Well, not to be facetious, but yes, about 100 times a day. We do. That is the biggest challenge in this business is educating people, what the real wholesale value. A truck is worth what someone will pay for the truck. I can say it's worth $10,000. You can say it's worth $50,000. What it's really worth is what somebody will write a check and pay for the truck. And we spend an awful lot of time figuring out what that number really is. I mean, I'd mentioned it before. My son Jake, who's my partner in this business, that's really all he does. I mean, I don't mean to belittle. He has some other responsibilities around here, but his number one task is to make sure that he has the value right on these trucks. It's what the key thing to whether we're successful or not is whether we buy these trucks right. It's a key thing to whether we grow. People aren't going to work with us and sell us their trucks if we're not giving them a good return on the trucks, if they can take it 10 other places and get more for it, or if they're not confident that we really understand this market and what the trucks are worth. So the best way when you're loggerheads with somebody and they think their truck is worth $50,000 and you think their truck is worth $10,000 is just to give them as much data as you possibly can and say, hey, we didn't just come up with this number off the top of our head. Here's a group of 50 day cabs just like yours that just went through Ritchie Brothers. This is what they sold for at the auction. That's one of the data points that we use. We bought last month 30 trucks that fit the same spec and mile range as the truck you're trying to sell. This is what we paid for them. This is what we sold the trucks for. We're not coming up with these numbers arbitrarily. The numbers are based on what people will actually write a check for and buy that truck in the market, because that's really the only thing that matters. I can say a truck's worth whatever I think it is, and you can come up with whatever number you want, but the only number that really matters is what somebody will write a check for and pay. That's the market value of the truck, and we spend a ton of time trying to make sure that we understand that price and that we're getting the best return we can when we buy and sell these trucks.